Thank you so much for joining me today, Brett. I am very excited for you to be on episode 2 of the Dippidi Deep Dive. This is a video podcast, where we're going to be kind of going over all of the powerhouse SaaS companies and service providers in the real estate industry. It only made sense. You had to be right there at the front of the line to be on this. So I'm very excited to go through this with you and kind of learn more about your company, Ruuster. If you could give a introduction to yourself and
Yeah,
also your background, and how did you come up with the concept to create Ruuster?
cool. Great to be here. Excited to be number 2. I didn't realize that. This will be a great series that you do, and excited to be working with you and supporting the industry in this way. So, Rooster was actually born out of a consumer experience I had purchasing my own first home. I have a finance background, and so I was working in actually at a hedge fund doing all sorts of really complex finance stuff. I was doing mezzanine lending and commercial loans and CDOs and CLOs and mortgage-backed securities and all sorts of kind of complicated stuff. And then I went to go purchase my own home, and I didn't know what was going on in the process. And so it was really born out of a consumer experience. We originally started as a direct-to-consumer company, helping consumers educate and centralize their home buying process. And ultimately, we got great usage out of the platform like that. But it became pretty clear pretty early on that really agents needed that tool set to offer to their clients. And so we pivoted our go-to-market strategy and built what's a really exciting and thankfully quickly growing platform, helping agents really interface with their clients, provide a tech-forward solution, all the way from collecting leads to nurturing them to providing real value. Where ultimately what I wanted to do is, if you can help the consumer and lead with value, then you're going to be top of mind. And so that's sort of at our ethos for everything we're doing. So that's our quick origin story.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you giving that background on it. Now, there's something that I don't know. People ask me all the time, why did you choose the name Dippidi? If it's funny, I feel like our companies these days are like, I got to come up with a unique word, and I like to spell it different too. Like we did that with Dippidi.
Yeah.
And so Ruuster, where did that come from? What struck up that brand name, and what's the meaning behind it?
Yeah, it reminds me of Twilio. It was like a cheap domain that they could buy. So they bought it and ended up being, a multi-billion-dollar company. So Rooster, the idea of a rooster is that it, wakes up. And so our idea ultimately was that it can help you wake up your database.
I love
And
that.
for a consumer, a rooster helps sort of wake you up and bring you into the light of day. So that's sort of the original kind of concept, to help people go from the confusion of the home buying process to the light as they understand what's going on.
I love it.
In line with sort of the Twilio story I just said, Rooster with 2 O's was too expensive.
100%. Yeah. We're not touching
Yeah.
that was same with us. So Dippidi was built upon in the marketing. In our strategy, you should be creating moments of serendipity. So when people
Oh, I
see
like
your ads, they're like, "Oh, aha! I should have I was just looking for that, or I was just thinking of that." So that's where we built upon Dippidi, and the same exact thing. When it came to looking at domains, I'm looking for that $12.99 domain. So same
So,
exact way. It's funny,
yeah.
man. But no, I'm excited to kind of dive into the product. If we could, I want to share your screen and have you kind of run through a product demo of Rooster, because there's a lot of capabilities within it and everything it can do. From, like you said, lead capture, but lead nurture, kind of all the way through the customer journey. So, for instance, advertisers like us at Dippidi love using products like Rooster because we can help set up those advertising strategies to drive the traffic and make the system really
Yeah.
maximize. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of showcase, let you showcase the product here.
Yeah, so actually, I'll show you some real world examples of it. So, at a high level, what we're helping our clients do is collect leads, nurture those leads, and give their agents the tool set to really engage in an easy way with them. with tools like AI, Nurture, and things like that. So our core client base is a medium to large size team. We've specialized in complex MLS setups. I'm going to show you a team at Real here, who's one of the biggest teams at Real. They're in 70 MLSs in 20 something states in 40 different markets with a couple hundred agents across the entire country. And so what we specialize in is creating an engagement tool that works for them, linking the MLSs all together into a portal type experience that can be embedded in a website, which we'll show you here, and then really creating a very unique consumer portal around that experience. So the things that a consumer would need when they're engaging with you. We'll show you that, and then also the agent's experience, particularly for those that are in CRMs that don't have that MLS built in. And so I'll show you, for example, our follow-up boss integration, which creates that kind of all-in-one experience. And so the idea is to create that end-to-end consumer system, that consumer engagement layer that just fits on top of the systems and tools that you're already using pretty seamlessly. So I'll start here just on the website. You'll notice that you can't tell that Ruuster exists anywhere. So no, Ruuster is just sort of a totally white labeled platform, and we don't want to exist to your consumers. You guys should exist. You've invested deeply in your brand, in your branding, in your brand identity. And so we let you keep that and feature that in all that we're doing. And that's a very unique thing as well. So this is a search bar. It's an embedded widget that we actually have a no-code builder in our backend on our site that I can show you later. But you can embed these search bars here to create a search experience where you can search for the properties. The results of those properties just populate inside your website. So it's a fully embedded search experience. If you kind of remember like the Showcase IDX days or the IDX broker, or things like that, it's kind of like a version of that on absolute steroids, where you can search for properties, you can click into the properties. It has the beautiful kind of and very customizable pictures and galleries and the things that you'd expect from a modern website. The fonts are customizable. The tools are, everything here can fit your exact brand. So people can schedule tours, they can favorite properties, etc. Now,
it's beautiful.
We have all the things that you would want as well. So, for example, here we can create agent pages. So this is actually an agent fire site. So we work on any third-party websites. You can do your own Squarespace site. You can work with a premium type partner like Agent Fire, who builds these gorgeous, websites here. And so you can, they've created here these agent pages. Each agent has their local markets that they're serving. Each agent has their own URL that they can send out. And when someone clicks through here, for example, and clicks to tour a property or favorite the property or something like that, the agent assignment works perfectly. Same thing with these local pages here. And so they're in, a million different markets. But, if we'd go into a state, click into the state and click into a market and click into Tahoe here. So we have the local pages here, and you can search the local properties. And here at the local level, a company like this is going to be running PPC ads to these types of pages. And so here we're going to have a forced registration page.
Yep.
And these registrations can happen, so we can collect that lead. It'll go right into your CRM system right away. We have a Google Tag Manager integration, so you can natively track those conversion events and see the results of your campaigns. And you can add custom tags to all of this so that you can sort your CRM system properly. You can get the lead flow working properly. And which I'll show you here, through that same tag, create these auto and AI and automated nurture sequences so that when someone registers on your website here, boom, right away, they're going to be starting to get property nurtures for that exact location that they were in.
I love it. Yeah, this is really cool because for us as advertisers, like we work on a lot of platforms. Agent Fire is one of the website partners we work with, and they have many IDXs that can integrate within it. Ruuster being one of them. And other platforms don't all have that integration with Google Tag Manager and analytics. So us as advertisers, when we're trying to set up campaigns on those type of platforms, we're actually kind of blind in the sense that we can't see what the cost per conversion is for the keywords we're bidding on. So that becomes a huge issue if we have a client that's wanting to do that on a specific platform. So you having that in Ruuster is huge for companies like us, Dippidi, where we're managing campaigns for clients.
Yeah, exactly. And we built it for exactly this use case for big teams in many different markets with big ad spend, with professional teams managing their spend. And so, for example, each of our clients can give you a link to be able to create pages for different PPC campaigns. You, as the PPC manager, can create tags for those things and set up the kind of nurture sequences that work with them. And so it's all built for that really professional type of experience in the professional teams in the industry.
Yep. And I'm already seeing too as well, like on the IDX there, the URL feed, it's such a small technical thing, but like your URL slug, how every click of the way kind of evolves the IDX. So that's big as well for us when we create landing pages as advertisers. So
Yeah,
great,
exactly.
great small technical feature that not a lot of people are looking at with an IDX.
Yep, that's exactly right. Then inside of Follow Up Boss, for example, I'll show you here. We create this embedded experience where the agents can search the MLS, can send properties, can see what their clients are clicking on, can modify the searches, can do all of that stuff right inside of the CRM system here, which is a super powerful thing. You don't have to manage multiple systems, you don't have to train on multiple systems. And whether they're here or, as I'll show you soon, if they're on their mobile phone, they have an app that's a branded mobile app for them as well, where they can just send properties. So even if in FUB Mobile they don't have these embedded sort of widgets here, you can click back and forth very easily between the mobile experience and the desktop experience. So wherever you are as an agent, wherever your client is, they're able to engage with you, see your brand, and you can send them properties and communicate with them. So this is the sort of inside CRM experience. I'm going to show you the client portal, and then I'll pop back in here. As an agent and as a client, I'll show you sort of the agent view of here, but the consumer view is pretty similar. We have a desktop, we have a mobile, we have mobile apps, we work on mobile browsers. Whatever device you're on, it's all featuring your brand. It's all featuring you front and center. It's all sort of a tech forward, really sort of premium experience that you would expect from a solution like us that your clients will actually want to use, and we see really great engagement from. There's the full MLS integration with tons and tons of filters. We can add any filters you need from your MLS so that you can filter and sort properties for your clients, save searches, map view, list view, all the sorts of things. If you have a mobile app with us, you can push things via push notification, which is a very powerful tool to break through sort of the noise of email and text message that just whatever sort of custom notifications you want to push out. So we have a in-app notification center where you can create new push notifications and just send those out. You can send them out to one client. You can send them out to all your clients. We have an integrated messaging or chat type experience. And so you can send properties back and forth. You can chat back and forth. You can send messages back and forth.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So you could be talking to your client or lead right there back and forth, just sharing properties like that.
Yeah, exactly. We have I'm just going to sort of like hit the quick highlights for you here. We have for the client here, I'll show you in the client view. We have a local services platform, so you can share all of your vendors. If you have multiple brokerages, or multiple teams, you can have only certain locations show to the agents, to the clients of those specific agents. We even have it this tag based. So if you have people, if you want to have them post-transaction get access to special deals. You can have those be tag-based, and we can show special lists of vendors after someone's closed with you as an incentive to shop with you versus other people. And frequently, actually, these vendors are paying our clients to be in here. A number of our clients are having their full experience with us fully paid off by the vendors that are advertising in there.
Wow. So very cool way to make supplemental income from advertising vendors in here.
Yeah, that's right. So mortgage partners, and so I think we have hundreds of different categories of things that that you can put in.
That's so unique. I don't even know if there's a competitor out there for that or not, but that is unique, and that is a huge difference maker. That's really cool.
Yeah, so this is a really neat thing. And then we have an educational platform, which is a blogging type platform that you can customize. We give you a library of content that you can use here, just walking people through the home buying journey. You can do whatever you want with this, call this whatever you want, insert your videos, share whatever kind of content with your clients that you want to share here. And so, you'll see the type of things that people have done, creating local content or vendors or process sort of things. All that is sort of here. And then as an agent, you can, of course, search listings. We have VOW feeds, and so where available, we have the agent-only information and in the comments and the showing details and all that sort of stuff. So where there's VOW feeds available, we are integrating those. So not just simply an IDX feed, which is a nuanced point, but with the VOW feeds, you have extra filters, you have extra information. We're showing that where that's available. You can share these properties. You can share them with on social media. If you do that, you can decide to share them with forced registration on. You can refer them to a client as a push notification, where you can sort of send it as a push notification to your clients. You can send it as a chat message to them. Hey, think you'd like this. Send it here. Select that I wanted to go to send this one to Simone Biles here, and I can send it right, and that'll go and it'll show up as a push notification right on her phone. If she doesn't have the app downloaded, it'll send it to her as a text message.
Wow.
So it's just this really great platform, and then you can see everything that is happening that a client is doing here in the platform. So every search email they're opening, every link that they're clicking on, every property that they're viewing, all the searches that they've created, all the properties they favored, every article they've read, all of that you can see here in this platform. And then it's all integrating perfectly with your CRM system, which is sort of the major thing, so that you can automate around these things. We have, for every major activity that's happening here, we have tags that populate into the CRM systems, so you can create automations around them. If someone is engaging with your lender, for example, you can create an automation around that right in your CRM system. If someone's viewing a property or favoriting a property, it will all show up natively here in the Follow Up Boss activity section. So all the properties that are viewed, everything that's happening. So everything is fully integrating. Every chat message, every note, everything that's happening in our platform is fully exposed into the CRM system that you choose.
That is massive, because that's the thing about technology and like adding on third parties. A lot of people operate right out of the CRM. So to be able to have a plugin that comes in and integrates so seamlessly like this, at the extent of what it is too, like there's not many IDX, client portal softwares that integrate so seamlessly into one of the greatest CRMs in real estate. So that's amazing. Everything you've reviewed so far is extremely beneficial. In terms of I think an interesting thing is that really stuck out to me is that trusted vendors and like being able to make money off of that. How are people kind of coordinate? Are they kind of doing that off the platform in terms of payment collection and things like that?
For the most part, sometimes if a lender is going to pay for half of the platform or something like that, we'll coordinate payment with them. But yeah, most of that's happening off of the platform with sort of marketing services agreements that
Gotcha.
with their
Gotcha. Interesting. So show me some of the nurture side of things.
Yeah, so this is like the really big stuff that we've just launched, and the AI version of this we actually just launched today, and has been
Today? Today?
today. Yeah, you didn't even
Wow.
know that when we
No,
scheduled.
no, no.
Yeah, like literally the AI portion we launched today. So here's the deal. Um, Big teams have lead sources that are all over the place, and they'll be doing their own campaigns. They'll be using Zillow. They'll be using the other portals. They'll be using an easy home search. They'll be using Ylopo. They have a ton of different lead sources that are all funneling traffic into their platforms. All of that activity, for the most part, especially if they're using a system like Follow Up Boss, is coming into the activity section here. And so Follow Up Boss is a source of truth for unifying the activity of that single client across many different platforms. But there's not any other platform that is using the activity from all other platforms to really customize and build a search wherever a consumer is using it. So consumer experience, if you're really thinking about it, and a lot of brokerages haven't really thought about it this way, consumers, when they're using your technology, are doing it mostly in a reactive way. So the consumer behavior is that if I'm going to go search for homes, I'm going to go to one of the portals or Redfin or something like that, because that's just what I think of top of mind. But I will very actively respond or click through things if you send them to me. And so I'm clicking through property emails from many different portals. I don't know that Ylopo exists. I don't know that Easy Home Search exists. I don't know that Ruuster exists, right? I just click through. I get emails from properties from my agents, and I just click through them. And so what we're actually doing is, and this is the piece that we launched today, is number one, using all of the search activity from all of the different platforms to dynamically adjust the properties that we are sending out to your clients. So it's a dynamic search that's changing based on what you're looking at. And so if you're number one, so if you're changing the types of properties you're looking at, or if you are narrowing in on the type of properties or the location that you are interested in as you're getting further down your process, we're going to be sending you more specific searches as you do that.
Question.
Yeah.
So, because this is new, this is
Brand new.
groundbreaking. So this
Yeah.
is cool to be able to interview on this. But question on this. So, for instance, you brought up it dynamically updates based off of this lead. So, I become a lead in a Follow Up Boss system.
Yeah.
They're tracking my activity.
Yeah.
I like short-term rentals. So I like to search for those sometimes on online.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I like to look for a personal house where I'm like, oh, if I were to move, where would I go? So I'm kind of looking at two different things. So it's going to recognize, and I almost feel like I do this in phases of life. Like actually last night I'm looking at short-term rentals, but like 3 months ago I'm looking at personal homes.
Yeah.
So it'll recognize that I'm doing that behavior and shift what it's sending me.
Exactly. That's right.
Wow. That's incredible.
So it'll shift what it's sending you, and it will also shift the frequency that it's sending to you. And so if you start becoming very interested in your process and you're looking at more and more and more homes, we're going to shift it from a weekly alert to a daily alert for you. Right. And if we see, like, you know what, he's pulling back a little bit, maybe he's not so interested, we don't want to spam him, we want to keep him interested, keep him warm, we're going to shift that back to a weekly cadence to be sending you those emails.
So that way it minimizes unsubscribes.
Exactly. Right. So that's it. And this is all tag based as well. And so this is like a really powerful thing. We can create a search here. I can call this 90210 mansion search, because that's definitely what you're in the market for.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been looking at. That's what I've been looking at.
Sure. I can go here. I can go to Beverly Hills, and I can do. Let's do. It must be a minimum of $20 million with 4 bedrooms. And
Brett, are you AI? It's like you know what I've been searching for.
I've been looking at your lead profile. Yeah. So here, and then let's have, it definitely needs a let's do a pool here. No built-in pools here. Let's do Okay, let's do. Okay, we'll leave it at this for now. So we're going to do this. We're going to save this search here, and then I'm going to create a tag, which is 90210 mansions. Okay, and then we're going to call this, the email subject line is going to be like 90210 mansions for you. And we'll start it off with a daily frequency, and then we're going to turn on these AI things so that it's customizing based on what you're looking for. Maybe it's these mansions in a smaller neighborhood that you ultimately end up interested in. Maybe you're like, oh gosh, I really need to do $10 million, $20 million is too much for me, right? So we'll adjust that. We'll create it to be adjusted, and I'm going to have this preset search here. So 90210 mansions, and I've created this tag 90210 mansions. So I can go now and I can create a PPC page. I can create a landing page for 90210 mansions. I can go blast that to my Facebook community. I can go send ads to it. And anyone who signs up through that is going to get a tag. And we'll have a tag in that thing called 90210 mansions. When that lead comes in here, they'll come in with a tag of 90210 mansions, for example. And we can apply that. That'll be automatic. Or we can have automations, or we can have rules that apply that. And just with the application of that tag, all of a sudden, Simone Biles is going to start getting that search. And it's going to be dynamic. So I can also, if I wanted to now, I could go and I could apply that tag to all these people here all at once. And I could have 200,000 leads in my database starting to be nurtured with the application of one tag if I wanted to. So it's a very powerful system that allows you to macro target your database to drive engagement from that, to keep people activated and interested. People love clicking on houses. People love seeing houses. And even if it's not the exact right house for them, frequently people will respond and tell you what the right house is for them. Or as they start searching through your houses, we can dynamically adjust that for them, and they'll start getting more of the houses that they like to see.
That makes sense. So like, for instance, sometimes what happens as advertisers is, we're running a PPC campaign or a Facebook and Instagram campaign, and we're driving traffic to the IDX, and they come onto the page looking at, just 3-bedroom, 2-bath houses for sale, but the listing that brings them into the system is like a $20 million listing.
Right.
And that person really can't afford a $20 million listing. It was just the shiny object that made them like, I got to look at this house, fill out their info.
Yep.
So this is real life use cases that happen as advertisers. Is like, we get clients that are like, hey, that person signed up for a $20 million house. They're not really going to buy that. But now with this AI product, they're going to start receiving $20 million listings, but so they might go back and click it a couple times, and then they might shift to what they're actually looking for, and it will dynamically adjust.
Yeah, that's right.
I know I've already said that once, but wow, it's just like really cool that that's a new product that you released. And I think,
and by the way, it could be that they're looking for those properties on your website. It could be that they're looking at those properties on Ylopo. It could be that they're inquiring about those properties on Zillow. It could be on Easy Home Search. It could be on Realtor. It could be on Ruuster. Wherever they're looking for those properties ultimately. And there's many ways that you're likely engaging them. You're retargeting them if you're doing, all sorts of different things. We're going to be capturing that and adjusting the search for them based on even that activity.
So basically, FUB is the hub. And as long as, they have to have Zillow integrated in order for it to recognize that data. They have to have Ylopo integrated. Whatever sources they have integrated that's tracking activity is what it will adjust based off of.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Incredible. Very, very cool, Brett. Kudos to you guys. What a great product. I feel like a round of applause. I didn't know I was getting that today. So that's really fun to see.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, in terms of the product, we've kind of ran through a lot here. Is there one of my questions was going to be, what's the future of Ruuster? But I think you just showed me.
We have a lot, actually. So I'll key you into sort of our broader vision. Our broader vision is to create a unified consumer experience. And so despite all the technology in the industry, so much of the consumer experience is very disjointed. It's over text message, it's over email, during a transaction. It's a very confusing process, and there's not a lot of updates. And then the ownership life cycle frequently brokerages aren't providing. And so people are going to a lender thing, or they used to use mint.com or something like that. And so what we're going to be building over a period of time here, number one is first the homeowner experience. And so we have that'll be coming out early next year, which is kind of like a HomeBot on steroids kind of thing, where you can see an estimate of your home value, where you'll be able to see the mortgage information for your specific home and your equity position in the home, what you can do with that equity, market reports, recently sold things nearby, and connect that in with your vendors that you're recommending as well. So what are the maintenance tasks and things that I need to do to maintain my home? Here's an HVAC person, here's a painter, here's people that I can use, so you can provide, a ton of value. From there, we're going to be integrating with some of the transaction management platforms, so that as I'm transacting in a home, I can see as a consumer what's actually happening behind the scenes. I can see the value you're adding. And so then you have that life cycle experience of, I can search for a home, I can see what's happening when I'm transacting in a home, and during my period of ownership of it, I can track my value and stay in touch that way. And the idea is that if we can actually provide value to a consumer, which is a little bit of a novelty, because a lot of our industry is, how do I gain attention? And so it's very attention focused as opposed to value focused. How do I provide value to that end consumer? If you can actually provide value and provide people something that they actually want to use, then they're going to stay in touch with you. And so that's that's really, really what we're working on building out.
I love that, Brett. It is safe to say that your home buying experience was so painful that you built an unbelievable product. So kudos to you. This is
Thank you very
it's
much.
great. So if somebody were interested in working with Ruuster, signing up for Ruuster, where do they need to go? Do they just go to the website and schedule a call? What's that look like for them?
Yeah, go to rooster.com, ruuster.com, and we can take you from there. You can email me directly if you want, Brett@rooster.com, 2 T's, and we can get you started. But hopefully it's easy enough to find us and get you started.
I love it. I love it. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today, Brett, to go over the product. Great job on it. You guys have done a phenomenal job. Very excited for these new features for us as advertisers to be able to, continue helping our customers. So as we're driving in leads into their CRM and doing retargeting campaigns, we have AI nurturing on the back end, helping us carry a heavy load to qualify and convert leads. I think it's fantastic. So thank you for making that for people like me and my team. So
Thank you for using it.
I appreciate it, Brett. Well, we look forward to it, man. Staying in touch, staying connected, and keep praising Ruuster for everybody.
All right, great. Best of luck with your 3rd episode and beyond here. I'm excited.
Yeah, thank you.